outdoors with Bowser Hobby.
Welcome back to Pat and Ken at the Holidays 2018 edition. I'm Pat McDonald, the Oprah critic.
In the immortal words of Paul Lynde, don't get your tinsel in a tangle. I'm Ken Candela, the movie wag.
So far, 2 gay jokes. Okay, moving on, Ken. This is one of my favorite segments every single year. We kind of try to find a weird Christmas movie, and I think I did pretty well.
You did. I think you did.
Yes.
It was an endurance test, to say the least.
From 1972, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny.
The
Ken?
Ice Cream Bunny.
What the hell was the point of this film?
Well, let's start off. It starts off, the basic premise is Santa's sleigh is it's stalled out and it's on a beach in Florida.
Yes, yes.
And without his reindeer, because they were so hot, they took off to the North Pole. What a predicament.
I'd say maybe for like the first 15 minutes of the movie,
yes,
Santa, who was played by Jay Clark, is in the sled, and the sun is beating down on him.
Yes.
And then occasionally he would just pass out for a while, but they keep the cameras rolling.
Did they have a script for this, Ken? I literally think they said, here's the premise, fill time.
Oh, look at that sun. Phew. My golly. I've got to try to get out. All those little boys and girls all over the world waiting for their presents.
They get under the sled if you're so hot, or move around, but he just kept complaining, and then they'd shoot to the sun. Santa's marooned, and now he starts to call the children in the neighborhood to come and help him.
Yes.
Help him get his sleigh moving.
Yes, now he does it telepathically, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
and the kids hear it somehow, and
it's typical 70s kids. Right. If you grew up in the 70s, you're going to love this movie.
Scotty! Steve! Bobby! Rebel!
And you remember when Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer showed up?
Jesus!
All of a sudden they shoot to a pond and they're on a raft, and it's like, what? So the kids start to come, and they bring livestock with them to help hook it up to Santa's sleigh to try to get him. And obviously there was no animal trainers on the set.
There was no animal trainers, nor were there any kid wranglers like, they have on the sets to make sure the kids are all right. Because they would literally have like a 3-year-old bringing a hog into the scene, or I don't know what it was.
And if you remember the one little girl, she brings a full-grown horse, I think. Now, horses are designed to move forward.
Yes.
They're not really comfortable moving backwards. And the poor animal did not want to do this. And I said, I wish someone would just let them go.
Well, how about the sheep?
The sheep. So kids gather around, and I'll tell you the story of Thumbelina. And you say, what does Thumbelina have to do with this movie? Absolutely nothing.
It was horrible.
It was very, very long.
Yeah.
And the Thumbelina sequence takes you to underground where she meets mole people. And then there's a character named Mr. Digger, who's a mole, I think.
Yes, he's a mole.
He's quite taken by her.
Yeah.
How do you do, sir? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
My. What a beautiful child. You were right. She is exquisite.
She was wearing kind of a little mini skirt, and I think
I mean, it was very bizarre because it was like this was like a Russ Meyer film. They were like every woman in it was like, okay, yeah, I know why they cast her. Now, This isn't a. It was sort of like a duel. There was two stories going on. The Thumbelina character was also a full-grown woman taking the tour
of the Thumbelina.
If you will look at the models on the table, they will give you an idea of the places she visited during her adventures.
The Pirates Cove amusement park. How about when they showed all the rides? It was basically a promotion for the, but it was like those bizarre 70s rides that had no, no safety standards whatsoever.
When they were on the horse, it was like a roller coaster, but they were on horses, going about 60 miles an hour, open air, just holding onto these horses for dear life.
So there was no animal wrangling, there was no kid wrangling, and there was no safety standards at the amusement park.
And I don't think there was.
God bless the 1970s.
Thumbelina also, she hooks up with the flower people.
Yeah, and the king of the flower people was definitely gay.
You're finally here. Our history books have said that someday the rightful queen of the flower children would come.
I mean,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. But he was the queen. And he kept saying that she was the queen, but he was the queen.
So they go back, and now Santa, this ice cream bunny comes. And he's on a very slow moving, I think it's like a fire truck maybe or something. You don't know why he's referred to as the ice cream bunny, because he's not like holding any ice cream or anything.
He's like a dead-eyed costume.
He's like a really bad, amusement park character. Santa gets on the slow-moving fire truck, and they disappear. And you assume that Santa goes back to the North Pole.
But what's interesting is they have sort of like a tag on where the kids go back to the sleigh, which is still stuck in the sand in Florida, and then it disappears.
Then it disappears once he's back in the North Pole.
Why did he do that in the initial? Can your Christmas bells for Santa Claus, Santa.
This was really painful. I say this every year, but this one is really, really bad. I'm going to give this a half a bell.
Oh my God! This might be your lowest rating ever.
My lowest rating ever.
I have to go 1.5 because
it's so bad.
Because of the Russ Meyer reference.
Okay.
That's
our surreal look at a surreally bad movie, Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny. Well, Pat, it appears we've consumed the holiday Bloody Marys.
And we've come to an end of another Pat and Ken at the holidays, the 2018 edition. Ken, do you believe it?
Pat, I think this year we're going to go out with no gimmicks, no gags, just a holiday song.
Hit it!